Welcome to our adventure to relocate to PEI. Today we're going to share with you some new hobbies that have been picked up, a big item that we're about to pick up, and the roller coaster of trying to buy a house. Welcome to On the Move. We are Matt and Betsy, and we are on a journey to relocate our family from Ontario to Prince Edward Island, Canada. So today I've noticed what we're wearing. Often we get up in the morning and we accidentally end up matching. Often friends will tease us about this, but today's actually has significance to it because it reminds me of our engagement photos that we got,
Oh.
which was kind of an impromptu thing that we did. We met at a camp, and the photographer who was taking the camp pictures saw us, and he knew because he and I had been talking that we were engaged, and he's like, "This is perfect. I want to take engagement photos for you," and he did it completely free of charge. It was very,
Yeah.
very
It was a
generous of him.
gorgeous area to do it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was
it was.
lovely. And
Yeah.
I don't think we'd really had any intentions to actually get
Not
engagement
not a
photos
priority.
done.
I remember it was at the beginning, well, midway through digital age, starting to show
That's
how
right.
old we are. And
Yeah.
like cameras were still progressing at that point, so he had a really fancy one at the
Yeah.
time that was digital, which he used to boast about. And it did. It took really nice
Lovely
photos.
photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just packed them away, actually, didn't you?
I did today. That's what went in the boxes today. I packed up some of the photo albums because I realized they were in a wooden chest that was going to be way too heavy for any one person to lift. So I split them up and put them in boxes. And that was kind of one of today's get done goals was that.
Yeah,
So
you have daily goals.
I
Yeah.
do. I try to set up daily goals that I at least get one or a few tasks on my list ticked off
hmm
to continue the process of things, finishing things up, and just maintaining the property in the house as well for the new
Yeah.
buyers.
And when the weather's nice, you're doing like outdoor things too.
I am, and it's been interesting this week. We're having it feels different to me for Ontario weather. We've had a lot of really like heavy dark clouds rolling in. My youngest daughter is quite conscientious of the idea of tornadoes. And so she keeps coming to me and telling me, Mom, big dark clouds. I'm like, it's okay. They're not tornado clouds. And we're getting little moments of maybe rain and then not a lot. So it's been breezy, which is great to dry laundry, but it's also been cool, which is actually really nice to do yard work and to keep the lawn maintenance. So that's been nice.
I remember she had a conversation with her grandfather, my father, on the weekend about what clouds for tornadoes should actually look like. My family is a very accurate family, and that probably comes largely from my father. And so he was trying to explain to her what this was like and what he had seen in the past. I
There
don't know
was
if it,
one time in my life that was actually only a year ago, last summer in July, we were sitting at a gas station in Costco, and the blurb on the radio came on and gave us a warning and said there was a tornado warning, and we were watching the sky, and both Matthew and I were like, okay, that is a scary sky. But thankfully it blew over and past us and it didn't turn to anything. But I think that set her a little extra on edge. So anyway, Canadian weather, always an adventure.
we should have like a warning. Maybe
I
I'll
know.
put that.
Weather warning.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the weather. Hold on.
Oh dear. So, what have we learned this week? What have we discovered that's new or up and coming?
Well, I don't know. You've now subscribed on Instagram to some feeds for PEI, right?
CBC PEI, which gives me amazing photographs, so just makes you want to move there all the much more. As well as it might be PEI tourism, and I think this popped up on the PEI tourism.
So the PEI is developing what they're calling a PEI pass. And when I looked this week, I actually don't have the most up-to-date information, but when I looked, they were opening it up first, of course, to residents of PEI in the Atlantic bubble there, which is New Brunswick, Nova Scotia.
So I think most importantly, those who are actually residents of PEI but have not been on the island, they've been, I don't know, say away for school or whatever.
Yeah. So they could get the pass
to come
first,
home.
And then probably this week coming, they're opening it up to others to apply for this pass too. So if you get this pass, then it's faster at the border. You don't have to jump through as many hoops. You still have to get pre-approval for your travel, but that's another tool maybe that we'll make use of to get into the
Yeah. And we
province?
will have to read and keep updated because things are
Yeah,
changing
all the
constantly
time. Even
now.
here in
So,
Ontario, just this
yeah.
week, they're talking about
Yeah.
accelerating their plans that they had already set in place only about 3 weeks ago
Yeah.
now. So it's a rapid
Yeah.
change.
And if anyone's watching in the future, we're just talking about COVID-19 situation is what this all pertains to, which
Yeah,
will hopefully be done and long gone soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we've got so much this week. We're just going to jump right into the highs and lows for this week.
We've had a lot go on.
Yeah.
So we'll start with some of the highs, which also kind of have to do with a bit of discovery and such. So a long time ago, I used to enjoy doing cross stitch. And so I decided to dive in and try another project, which I think is absolutely adorable.
I think we should call this like Betsy's Corner.
Betsy's Corner. Yeah. So working on this one, which is a gnome here holding a flower. The plan is to do one for each of the members of our family. So this one is October. He's a little Halloween gnome. He's dressed up in his little Halloween stuff because I started with my youngest daughter because for some reason I always do things in age order, which means her stuff ends up getting done last. So I decided this time I would start first. So the girls were excited. They think I'm learning a brand new thing and they're pretty impressed by it. Cross stitch isn't that difficult. It just requires patience and
Precision.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
But
what
as far as like an actual skill, if you've ever worked with a needle and thread, it's really not that challenging to pick up. Not to diminish it in any way. There are cross stitch artists out there who are very particular about what they do. They're very careful about the process. I'm just going at it and doing it how I want. The back will be completely hidden. I'm turning it into a pillow. So the inspiration comes from, so I'm just gnomes. I just have fallen in love with gnomes recently. Not real great inspiration.
That might be the trailer. Might end up with gnomes in it.
Might, yeah. We'll have to see if I decide to. I don't know. It's kind of a slow process, so we might be well into the trailer and maybe out of it by the time I finish these.
But you have inspired your girls.
I have inspired the girls, so they have both decided they wanted to try this. My oldest came to me and said, "Mom, is that hard to do?" So again, I gave her the little spiel about, well, not really difficult, but requires patience and precision, which is we're practicing a lot of that patience lately. We'll get to that. And so I took them to Michael's. They picked up tiny little, nice, very cute starter kits, and they've been plugging away at it as of this afternoon. They started.
Yeah, they made good progress already too. It's good. It gets them off screens too.
Yes, and they officially finished up their online classes this week. So I am looking for activities to do that are not sitting on their tablets and their phones, pardon me, just to get them some additional things to do. And I've put some more time limits on when you can be on the TV and such. So
yeah. Along with that, one of my highs for this week, because we're done the online part, the school staff have shifted to being in the school so that we can kind of finish up and get kids report cards and graduation, that sort of thing. So it's the first time the staff have come together, even though it's been public news that I'm moving on from my school. A lot of them either haven't known because they haven't really paid attention to those things, or they haven't talked to me. So I've had a lot of conversations this week about that. Oh, you're leaving, and it is a sad thing to. I've got a great community I'm a part of, so it's a sad thing to leave, but exciting at the same time.
Yeah, I've been hearing him say goodbye to his classes online, and each time he's explaining that it's not leaving because if he were to stay, he would stay at the school he's at. He has greatly enjoyed that community and environment. But we're just looking for an adventure.
So it's been nice to connect with these people and actually face to face, even though we're wearing masks, to be able to say some of these goodbyes and share some nice memories and things with people. I think my favorite was there's a lady that I've gotten to know the last couple of years. She and I have spent time doing some duty stuff outside and trying to monitor some of the teenage behavior that goes on. And so we've joked and had fun with some of that. And I saw her in our staff room, and she says to me, "What the?" And I'm not going to put the rest of that sentence in there for you. Yeah, but that was it was a genuine response. And even though it was a little crash, I think it really touched me that she was able to express herself on that.
Yeah, you'll be missed. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice to know you'll be missed. And we also were able to meet with a small group that we've gotten together with at our church over the last couple of years and gotten to know quite well, who've been a great support to us, to our girls, and just enjoyed getting to know each other and sharing life and food together. We were able to get together with them at an outdoor gathering this week and just have some goodbyes from them. And it's nice to know that people are sad we're leaving, but also to be encouraged by people who are telling us it's okay to pursue a dream, it's okay to pursue an adventure. So that was lovely to have that kind of encouragement. And sometimes you do start to have a little bit of fear and doubt about what you're doing when you're changing your whole life. So having other people share their stories of times that they've done this, or to just encourage you that it's okay to stretch yourself, was encouraging and delightful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One other thing that we've done to keep the girls off the screens too, I think it's been a little bit of a high, has to do with actually a TV show trailer that I saw up and
Yes.
coming. Disney Plus is creating a new series, live action series for kids, and it's based on a book series.
Yeah.
So I went looking for it.
It is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This is the second in 4. I believe there are 4 books in the series.
In the main, there's a couple of little offshoot things,
Okay,
but that's the main.
Yet. Yeah. So we've read through. Well, I've read through out loud to our girls, which we have not done in years. So it's been fun to sit together as a family after dinner and just each night take a chapter and do a chapter with them and read this story out loud. And so we're all enjoying it together. And
they did the first whole book already.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the second. Well, I don't know if we'll make it all the way to the end of 4, but I'm impressed we've made it this far.
Yeah, the second one was a little slower to pick up. And of course, we had just read the first one, but there's a lot of review, I think, to pull people back into it. So we already knew a bunch of that stuff. And
so that
I'm obviously listening in too.
And our girls are 10 and 13. And they are enjoying it. So for that age category, I would say it's great. It does use some larger language, like just more advanced, I guess is what I'm looking for. So maybe not for like 3 to 5-year-olds, but if your children are interested in literature and books at all, I'm sure they'd follow the story.
The word today was because Betsy is a voracious reader and has been for a very long time. So she's been reading words before she's been saying them. I'm the total opposite.
There are some words I've only ever read and never heard said.
Yeah, and I'm very auditory. I like to listen to things and I pick up from listening. So I think first about how a word sounds, not how it looks. And so the word you said today was stymied, and I said no, that's stymied. And so we had this little conversation on that.
And then there's another one too. The other one was it's just slipped my mind.
Deigned.
Yes,
deigned.
And that one you actually had to look up.
I wasn't 100. I thought I knew, and it turns out I was right, but I had to look it up to be sure. Yeah.
So we're a great team. We keep each other on track, keep each other learning and teaching all the time. So it's great.
All right, the other high and low. This is this had some initially.
I almost don't want to talk about it.
It was high, but it has really come into a low. But we're thankful in the end that we've come to this position.
We are. Okay, go for it.
All right, we
bought a house.
Yeah, but no, we didn't. We didn't buy a house.
We have bought a house.
We've never been in this situation before, and I told my real estate agent this. We were getting through the process. I'm like, we're in new territory for us here. We need your help on this. Because,
so you'll have to explain.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go backwards. So a house, it didn't actually come on the market. It had already been on the market for 62 days. And we have a special filter thing that pushes houses to us, courtesy of our real estate agent. Collaboration Center, I think it's called.
Collaboration Site.
Okay.
Or Center. Anyway,
I don't know if it's used widely, but it's being used for us in PEI. And it came through this, even though it had been on the market for 62 days. And I still have no idea why it came and showed up for us.
To teach us lots of stuff.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't because the price had changed or anything about it. It just showed up for us. So we took a second look, and our real estate agent happened to be 7 minutes down the road when we called her or texted her to say, well, we'd like to look at this and we're interested. She says, it's empty. I'm going to go in right now. So all of a sudden we thought about it, and now we're looking through a house. And first glance, we liked it. And we found out what we thought was this big company behind it that we thought, we don't want to be by this company. This can have people coming and going from it. It was actually a potato farm.
Which we decided we were okay with because it's seasonal work, and we respect the farming lifestyle. We respect that all of us on this planet benefit from it. We're not deluded to that at all. We know where our food comes from. So we were okay with that.
Yeah. So, so she said, you know what? I'll come back and we'll do a more thorough one tomorrow if you want, because you didn't live terribly far away. And so we said, okay, let's do it. And so we did a thorough through, like we went top to bottom, opening drawers and
windows,
everything that we could. And she had someone
partner
with her
with her,
there.
yeah.
Her partner was with her there. So he helped out too. He works in
like a building
supply. So
yeah.
he knew about some window stuff too and was helping us there. And so we decided to put an offer in on it, and because it's been sitting around, we actually put a lower offer than they were asking for it because we thought that's what it deserved at the time. Did a little back and forth, and we actually came to an agreement on the house. So we were excited, like all the important people in our lives were texting, "We bought a house! We bought a house! We bought a house!" And we celebrated a little bit ourselves too.
Yeah, we went out and had a celebratory dinner. We'll get miffed at. We'll be celebrating so quick next time.
Yeah. But anyways, there were two conditions that we put on the sale. One was a satisfactory home inspection, and the other one was that we could get proof that it was insurable. Those are apparently standard things in PEI. Where we are in Ontario right now, it's common actually to buy a house with absolutely no conditions.
Well, just these last few months especially
so
have been crazy. So yeah.
And so she said, "Oh no. This in PEI, this is common standard. No one buys a house without a home inspection."
So we were, and it was an older home, so it entirely made sense to do that.
Yeah. And so we worked through that process. We ended up with a good home inspector. Actually, I'll name him here.
Yeah, go for it. He was good.
Kent Jackson. I'll put his information below for you here.
He was thorough.
Fabulous. 98-page report we ended up.
And like how many photos?
450 that he took for the place. It was extremely thorough.
Which we thought was amazing and wonderful news until you think about why you have a lot of
I will say one other thing positive about it. It was quick turnaround too.
Very quick, yes.
Like within about 72 hours of us actually having the agreement, he had that home inspection done for us.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they give you do put in a week for that.
And we had a little more than a week.
Not been able to come right away, we'd understood, but it was fantastic.
Yeah. So that home, like first of all, when he was done just going through the house, he sent us all the raw photos. So 450 photos we got at like 9:00 at night on a Sunday night. And that was terrifying because he's like getting into all the nooks and crannies and showing you all the things that are not quite right about the house, or worse than not quite right. And so at that point, we are thinking kind of the worst on it. We're like holding our breath. Okay, what's up with this? Is this okay? And then the next day, we get the full report from him with all the explanations and the circling and the pointing and stuff. And
so the first part is just photos with arrows, but no explanation. So
there weren't even arrows on the first. It was just photos.
Okay, just photos.
Yeah, and so and then what they have in it, he has arrows and circling, so he highlights things, and then he has different prints. So there'll be gray or black print for some stuff that's normal, or as he calls it, serviceable, and then there'll be red print for things that you need your attention.
Caution.
Yeah. Some caution to some, like this must be dealt with.
Sometimes there was capitalized red.
Yes, this is true. and it was a lot, as I said, 98-page report. So I didn't get to talk to him till the next day, and one of my first questions to him was, "Is this common for a house on PEI?" And he said, "Well, yeah."
Again, keeping in mind the older home.
Yeah, and he said in older homes, you can see this. And then with the things, are these repairable things? And he said, yeah. And part of it, he had expertise in some of the areas of things that needed repair. He said, yeah, you could do that. So we went back to our real estate agent and said, okay, what next? Again, new territory. Don't know what we're doing here.
The stuff is starting to add up. There were some things we knew that we had accepted, and that would have been fine.
Yeah. Some of the things we saw on the exterior.
We're not going to give super details.
But we knew some things that needed to be done.
Yeah, and we were okay
you could
with
see
that.
Yeah. And so then at that point, our real estate agent tells us, okay, well, for these things that you are really concerned about, that maybe are safety things, you need to get a couple of quotes on them so that we can use that if we're going to negotiate further with the sellers on this. So I called up a couple of people. One guy was really nice, and I think if we run into something like this again, I will call him again for sure. But they couldn't do that stuff till the end of the week. Like, they're very busy, these contractors. So they were going to be able to get to it in our timeline, but not right away. And so you then talked through it with our real estate agent
I
to
was
say,
starting to feel
yeah,
pretty unsure at this point because I mean, we've taken on some projects in the past, but nothing like this. So again, I was okay with one, maybe two different major projects where you'd need to bring in specialists and experts to deal with those. But by this time, we'd hit three major areas. And that kind of was pushing me over the edge. So I talked to her agent. I let her know I'm feeling pretty nervous. I'm not feeling very optimistic. And so her encouragement was, well, let's get some more information. Let me communicate a little bit more. We'll follow this through till the end or till the quotes and just see. So we did that.
yeah.
And then
it was through the communication. So
yeah.
she started communicating with the seller's agent and
Yeah.
getting information back. And she said, I'm not getting the information that I think we need
yeah.
here. And so she gave us permission to say, I think this might be
We're
a scenario you need to pull out.
Yeah,
this.
so we did. We said, no, okay, just we'll fill out the paperwork. We apologize. Thank you for all the amazing work and footwork and several different people that put in for us. We greatly appreciate it, but this is just not a project we're prepared to take on.
Yeah. We've never been in that situation before.
No.
We've been very fortunate. We've had very solid homes.
Yeah, we haven't had like crazy fashionable homes, but they've been good bones and solid bones. And that's been delightful. So yeah. And then like 5 minutes after I gave her the official go ahead, fill out the paperwork, you also got notified by the insurance agent that they had also not received enough satisfying information about this property.
Yeah, so that was going to be another
to proceed
hurdle
with us.
Yeah, and that was one of the conditions.
So all in all, we don't have a house.
Yeah, I keep saying, so there is a sense of relief in that we are not getting into something that we didn't want to, that overextends us.
Just too much.
But it also means now that we have to start again and try to do this again.
So we'll take a deep breath, and I think I've already kind of pretty much done that, and just go, okay, we are actually really well prepared for this situation. We're going to be okay. We already have alternatives in place.
Yeah, that was one thing I keep saying too. We already are set up to not have a house. So we've got all the things in place. The trailer is coming.
So I still like the idea of a house with character, and if it needs one major project, 1.5 major projects, I think I can swallow it, but I can't swallow 3. So I learned that about myself, and I learned that sometimes cute old character comes at a cost that's too high for me. So that's that. I learned a lot. We move forward. Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah. And so moving forward, what's next? Actually today, very shortly, we are picking up our trailer.
So which is our summer home. Is basically what it's going to end up being.
Or more.
Well, I don't know. I mean, let's go with summer home.
Yeah, summer home. Yeah. That'll get complicated if it goes
Coming back to the weather. Canada gets cold. Yeah. And once it starts to get cold, it gets cold fast.
We're not doing a winter. I just meant maybe.
I know. Mm-hmm.
So that's today. That'll be exciting. We'll give a trailer tour next time we see you for sure.
And we have lots to learn with that. We are newbies to driving a trailer, so we will learn that and
lots of practice in our future. Yeah. Lots of practice.
Yeah, we'll be careful and practice lots and not do anything that we know we can't do.
Yeah, we have your father has lots of experience.
Knows. Your uncles.
I have an uncle. We're going to be staying very close to them. Yeah. They have lots of experience with trailers too, so
they can help us out.
We'll get some tutorials.
For sure. And the company that's selling it to us has also promised like a great tutorial before we even leave, that they will take the time to go over all of it with us. So that will be exciting. We'll let you know how it went.
So I think we're gonna run away on you now, and we're excited to get this trailer. So we're gonna go and get it, and we'll be back to show you in another couple of weeks.
Yeah. Bye.